He was the most generous, amazing, funny person I've ever met.
Caring, obviously very funny, and a man's man. The guy was a man's man. He was an incredible husband, incredible father, friend, co-worker, just a man's man. Stud.
If I was to describe Frank in a couple of words, I would say caring, loving, humorous. You know, like that, I was listening to that song that Elton John sang, believe it or not, but it was the couple of words that were in that song was, your candles burned out long before your legend ever will. And I think that applies to Frank because he's going to be a legend. A lot of things that he's done is, you know, it's going to be very, very big hole in our hearts to, you know, fill. But he also left a very big warmth in our hearts that's going to carry on in our hearts forever. So
I think it's a spirit. He's just larger than life, and he's very, you just feel good about being around him.
Well, you gotta, one of them has to be funny. I mean, you just can't dodge the funny bullet on that one. And the other one probably is soft-hearted. He just had a very deep level of compassion. It didn't show as much as the funny, but if you looked, it was there, and sometimes you had to know him a little bit longer. There are things that he did that he never told people about. I watched the way he took care of people in our office that needed it, and he'd never say a word for the extra efforts that he went to take care of them. Never a word from him. You'd find out third hand or something. He wasn't there to get praise. He was very anonymous in his help and his compassion. So,
I think he'll mostly be remembered as a very funny, very generous, wonderful, amazing man who was a good family person and a good friend. Very good friend.
He'll be remembered in a lot of different ways, but honestly, most people will think about him and laugh, and that's exactly how he's going to be remembered, is, you know, with laughter. You know.
A funny, a nice, genuine, sincere, intelligent salesperson. Frank Toohey, a loving father, a great husband to his wife. You know, that's a tough question to ask me because, you know, I would do anything for Frank Toohey, and Frank Toohey would do anything for me because him and I are like as close as a blood brother as I could probably get. You know what I'm saying? The guy is like incredible. Incredible.
I will always remember and will miss him dearly as a dear, sweet man that loved you as much as you loved him.
Oh, his jokes. Goofy, laughing, having fun. Just live life to the fullest, and family is the #1 most important thing.
I think he's a legend. Yeah, I think you know, there's so many people that whenever he encountered somebody, they would not forget him. And that's what, you know, that's what legends are made of.
I know everybody says he's the more funniest people in the world, but I think he was all the time loving more his family more than himself. He loved everybody no matter what. He was trying to be, everybody feels special.
I think Frank's going to be remembered as, again, genuine, loving, enthusiastic, he was loyal, but he was really loyal for the people he worked with. And that's one thing I'll always remember about Frank is he went out of his way to make sure that the people that worked around him were happy. And that made him happy, I think.
He will be remembered. That's the difference. And he'll be remembered for a long, long time because people will constantly remember his style, his personality, his jokes, the way he came across with people, and always being the kind of, Frank was the type of guy, when he walks in the room, he lit up the room. And those people you don't forget. You just never forget. But that's the type of person that he was.
Always thinking of the other person all the time. You know, just even when he came up for the PD meetings or whatever, he'd always pop in, "Hi, Paul, you need a drink? You need a soda? Let me carry your cane. You want me to carry you?" And I'm like, "Frank, get out of here." So, you know what, he was always positive. Just it was fun to have him around because he was just like a light bulb, bam, just, you know, always just lit up a room.
How do you think Frank Toohey is going to be remembered?
Frank Toohey will be remembered probably larger than life, is what I would say. You know, a lot of things, would Frank do this way? Or look, that's Frank. Or something funny happens, oh, that was Frank right there. That was Frank doing it this way, or Frank doing it that way. I mean, I think that's how he's going to be remembered, just because, you know, he just, he touched a lot of hearts.
Well, I'll tell you how my kids remembered him. My oldest, 5, this is why he's 3 years old, but my oldest girl is 5 years old. When we told her that Uncle Frank is now up in heaven, she wanted to know if he was up there showing God his thumb trick that he does up in heaven, and if he was showing that to God. I said that's probably what he's doing. Frank would want to be remembered as the guy that was always good for a laugh. He always had a joke on the tip of his tongue. He always had a kind word to say.
Because it was Frank, you won't ever be able to think about him. I mean, you can be sad for a second, but you can't even think about him without laughing. Any story you think up, any memory, there's not a single memory you can drum about Frank that doesn't bring a smile to your face. And she's said that a couple of times, and I'll tell you what, you can't have a better tribute to a person than that every memory that they you know, recreate or cause just puts a smile on your face, ear to ear. I mean, oh my gosh, that guy, I mean, that's a legacy right there. You can't ask for more than to leave that behind.